I would like to have some fun questions for you.
Definitely.
Yeah? So, what is one word to describe badminton?
I think fast and furious. I think badminton is just super fast.
Yeah.
You win and you lose point at the flick of a second. So I think it's fast and it's furious at the same time.
Right. Favorite cheat meal after training?
Pani puri for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love pani puri and my cheat meal, go-to cheat meal after training would be pani puri.
Wow, I think that's everybody's
Especially
cheat
the
meal.
roadside one, not the proper shop one, the roadside one.
Right. Nice. One thing you disliked as part of your training routine?
I generally hate running.
Okay.
I don't like running, especially endurance running, because back in the day they would make us run 10 kilometers every weekend.
Yeah.
So I hated running, but it's like, I mean, every job has a few things you don't like, right?
Yeah.
Like for me as an athlete, I just hated running, especially the long distance, because they would make us run without earphones, without
Yeah.
music.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so they said you have to hear your breathing and understand, and
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's how you set tempo while you run. So no music and running was something I hated.
Given a chance to make you run now,
Yeah.
would you choose it or like no?
No, definitely not choose it.
No.
Now I'm retired. I don't need to run anymore.
So when you hit the gym, you prefer like doing other workouts?
I do run, but not like 10 kilometers. Back in the day, I would run. That's
Endurance running.
endurance running. I can
Yeah.
run 3-4 kilometers. I run, but
Okay.
not 10 kilometers. I
Nice.
think I'm done with those days.
Yeah. If you could tell the 17-year-old Reshma one thing,
Yeah.
what would it be?
I would tell myself to stretch.
Okay.
Because I've realized that the older you get, the stiffer your body gets, and,
Right.
and all these. I have knee injuries and ankle, and I have
Yeah.
a back injury as well. So probably if I would have stretched better, I would have not had these post-retirement injuries. So definitely stretch.
Right. And what was the worst advice someone gave you during your sporting days?
The worst advice is that, if you want to rule the court, you have to learn, you have to rule like a lion. And
Okay.
a lion always sort of walks alone and is always alone.
Okay.
I think that was a stupid advice, because I did that and literally I was like all alone for a year, and no socializing, no speaking to friends, not interacting with my colleagues in badminton.
Yeah.
So I think it was not a...
Like just yourself?
Yeah, just myself, and I sort of cut off everything.
Oh my God, like where did you get this advice from?
Because, I mean, the coach said, and he actually, the way he said, he pumped all of us and motivated. See, you have, if you want to rule the court, you have to be a lion.
Yeah.
And what does a lion do? He's alone in
Yeah.
the jungle.
Oh my God.
So I was like, okay, let's try this, because I was in that phase, ki trial and error. There's no harm in trying
So
things.
1 year of nothing else?
Yeah, 1 year, and then then later on I went and apologized to all my friends, colleagues. Ki,
So what did you do? Like just
didn't interact with anybody. Just came on the court, just trained and went.
it was a way of focusing?
Yeah, it was. I tried to do that, but it's not advisable.
Okay, not advisable. And your one tip to badminton lovers, like Bangalore has a lot of badminton lovers, people who play casually,
Yeah.
what would you give a tip to them?
I think my tip would be ki warm up.
Yeah.
That's very
True.
important, because
True.
you need your ankles and your knees
Yeah.
to walk. Don't get too excited.
True.
And play badminton. But it's good to play, but you have to do your proper warm up, because the older you get, your knees, your shoulders, your ankles start giving up.
Yes, I agree with that. And what would brands choose according to you? Sponsoring a cricket player's Instagram post or funding 10 para athletes for a year?
I think a brand would definitely choose funding or sponsoring a cricketer's
Yeah?
Instagram post, because I think right now brands are looking at visibility and to reach the masses
Okay.
rather than impact. I mean,
Okay.
again, it's the choice of the brand. If it's more impact, then I would say para athletes. But if it's just visibility and brand awareness, I think
Yeah.
it would be a cricketer's Instagram post.
Right. One rule you change in badminton?
One rule, probably it would be the ability for the player to give warnings to the umpire
Why is
when
that?
things don't go in your favor. Because the umpire can give you a yellow card or a red card for misbehaving on court, right? Sometimes the umpires are not too nice to athletes as well.
Right,
So
right.
probably this rule I would.
Nice. And if not badminton, what would you have done?
It's a tough question, because I've thought of being a badminton player all my life.
Yeah.
If not, maybe I would have joined the CBI, or I don't know, like something into
You're into
crime,
investigating.
investigation, or if not, probably just opened a cafe or a restaurant.
Yeah, you thought about those things.
Maybe, I don't know.
You
Now
never
that
thought?
never thought about it. It was
Oh.
always badminton. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Growing up, it was always badminton.
That's very good singular
Yeah,
focus.
yeah. It was always badminton.
Nice. And one truth about Indian sports that everyone knows, but nobody says out loud.
I think you only receive support once you start winning. I think people, all of us know that, but we don't openly say it.
We don't talk about
We
it.
don't talk about it.
We only talk about it once we get the
Yeah,
championships.
once you get the championship.
And all it goes
Oh,
viral
all
in the news.
the good things that happen after that.
With the long struggle.
Yeah, no
and
one talks about that. Very few people.
no sponsorships, alone.
Yes.
Lonely journey.
Lonely journey. It's a very
Unrecognized.
unrecognized, ungrateful. I mean, not people are not very grateful to the struggles that you go through. They only speak to you or interact with you once you do really well.
Yeah.
So yes, you receive support only when you win. That's
Oh God, how does that work? Like all through when you're playing
Yeah.
and you're still like not on the top. How does people respond to you generally?
See, I mean, if you're doing well, see, everyone wants to be friends or want to interact with people who are on the top or who are doing well, right? When you're
Right.
at a low level, no one gives a damn. Everyone's busy with their lives.
Yeah.
And once you start doing well, like, oh, I helped you do this. Remember me? So those things happen. But yeah, it's when you're on the top, people give you that attention, give you that focus, give you whatever you basically want.
Did you go through that as a sportsman?
Yes, I did go through that.
And how?
But it's a phase, it's a part and parcel of life, right?
Yeah.
If when you're doing well, people will give you all that attention. When you're not doing well, people give a damn. So there was one time I was doing really well. I was getting all the attention from my coaches in the academy. My coach would come and train me only because, see, I mean, the ratio in academies is like there'll be 2-3 coaches, there'll be about 10-15 odd players, right? So a coach can't be there on every court and training every athlete. So sometimes, and the coach is generally working with athletes who are doing well at that time for that phase. So when I was doing well, every session my coach would come and feed me. My coach would call me, ki come, let's do extra sessions and all.
Right.
But if you're not doing, you're on the last court, you're just training, you're just there, you grind it yourself.
Yeah.
And slowly once you start climbing the ladder, again, from the last court, you come to the first court.
Nice.
So-
But what does one have to do to handle that? All the one when you're not getting the attention and one when you do get the attention. Does it throw you off? Does it throw you off? Does it
It definitely throws you off in the first time when it happens, you're suddenly getting so much attention and you'll be like, oh, the coach is only training me and you're like flying with amongst all your colleagues and your counterparts.
Yeah.
But when you see that wave going up and down, right? When you're training, you're up. And then when you're doing well, you're up. And when
Yeah.
you're not doing well, you're down. Then you sort of get used to that. Ki haan, theek hai, I am not doing well. So I'm on the last court. Oh, now I'm doing well. So I'm like promoted to the first court.
Yeah.
So you get used to that feeling, honestly. At the start, it's new.
Yeah.
At the start, both the feelings are pretty new. Ki, oh
Yeah.
shit, what is happening?
Yeah.
Why is it happening to me? And you go in that victim mode, oh, this, that, and you cry and do all of that.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, you get used to that feeling. No? Then it's a process. I mean, if you do well, you get attention. You don't do well, you don't get attention. But you keep grinding. The grind goes on. The process doesn't stop.
Right.
Once you start believing in the process, then the outcome honestly doesn't matter.